Hey guys, Dave and Chris here from BowHunterPlanet.com, and welcome to 2020 as we take you through the brand new Mathews lineup. Alright, here we are. The Mathews lineup's in front of you. A couple of their new bows this year. Is this the only two they did?
Yep, only two
so
they've
far?
launched, yep.
So far of what we know. Who knows what else is coming, but you never know. So, the VXR, this is the 31.5 in front of you, and also the 28. So, two great new models from Mathews this year. Have a great look to them. Have some of the same features you've seen in some past models for the look, but also some new stuff as well. Chris and I have actually already shot these, already did the speed test, already did a lot of things, so we're doing a little different this time around. So right now what we're going to do is jump to the specs first. Let's go ahead and start with that with the VXR 28. Chris, go ahead and take us through the specs.
Alright, so we got the 28 right here, of course, 28-inch axle to axle. 344 is the feet per second on it, and draw weights of 60, 65, 70, and 75. Now, one of the things they did do is this is a switch weight model bow. So, which means you can change your poundage with just the mods, just like you could on the Verdicts last year. So, switch weight technology, different let-offs, different poundages. You can increase it from that 60 to 75 pounds just with mods changes.
Nice.
So, and then of course, once you put that mod in, you have up to 10 pounds of adjustment down from there. It's a 6-inch brace height bow. So as far as weight goes, the bow weighs 4.44 pounds. And then we've got let-off options of 80 to 85%. Of course, the cross-centric cam system with the switch weight technology, and comes in at an MSRP at $10.99. So it's definitely in that premium market, but with all the technology they've got packed into this, it's not a surprise at all.
All right, so moving on to 31.5. Let's go through the specs real quick on that one.
So 6-inch brace height bow, 31.5 inches axle to axle, draw lengths of 26.5 to 31 inches. Same draw weight options you had before. Again, still does have switch weight technology. Let-offs of 80 or 85%. Physical weight on this bow is 4.66 pounds. And MSRP on this bow is $11.99.
All right, guys, we're speed testing the VXR, brand new from Mathews. This is the 28-inch model. We are shooting this at 70 pounds, 29-inch draw, and this first arrow is at 350 grains. 327 feet per second. Next arrow is 450 grains. 286 feet per second. Our next arrow is 550 grains, 267 feet per second, and our last one is our big arrow, 687 grains, big boy. All right, 240 feet per second. Alright guys, moving on with our speed test. We're shooting the new VXR from Mathews. This is the 31.5-inch model. We are shooting this at 70 pounds, 29-inch draw length, and the first arrow is 350 grains. 323 feet per second. Alright, our next arrow is the 450 grains. 284 feet per second. Our next arrow is 550 grain arrow, so it's very heavy. 263 feet per second. Next arrow is the All-American, we call it, the 687 grain arrow. Big boy. 237 feet per second. All right, so there you go. You got to see the bows being shot, got to check out the speeds that we're getting from them. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the technology of the Mathews bows.
All right, so a couple things we saw brand new for this year was we've seen both the bows have the new switch weight technology and the cams. I would definitely visit their website. That's going to give a lot more in-depth information as to specifically how that works, but you got lots of draw weight variation, as well as draw lengths, poundages, let-offs, everything. The next really cool thing that they added into their bows this year is the SCS, which is their Silent Connect system. They've actually got two little modules here that actually attach into the limb pocket that will allow you to pull it up into a tree, bow sling, or lots of different options. I'm sure that the aftermarket is going to be huge on that, as well as Mathews is going to provide a lot, I'm sure, as well. Our two bows shipped with the
pull-up rope.
The pull-up rope. So that's a pretty cool feature they're going to throw in the box for you.
I mean, I just think it's like one of the coolest things that I could imagine. Like, seeing that and then seeing this, I was like, because at first I didn't know this was the pull-up rope. I'm like, what is this? And then he's like, oh, it's the pull-up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Genius, you know, because you're always trying to hook it and do all this stuff, and this is just so easy and fast. And, you know, if you get a couple extra ones, you can keep them at your stands if you have a couple stands, or obviously you can take it down too. It's up to you. But, man, that is a great, really cool invention they put on these bows. Really, really cool. I love that it's integrated. That, to me, is like amazing.
Absolutely. And I mean, now they still have the Engage grip, which was new on the Verdicts last year and on some of the Target bows as well.
I still like the design of the riser. I think the riser looks great.
And they definitely took a lot of material out of this from what we've seen in the past on Mathews bows. We've normally seen them pretty solid on the backside. We're seeing a lot more cutouts. I think they're doing that to help reduce the weight even more. Mathews bows in the past have been kind of known to be a heavier bow. And I think what we're seeing is we're just seeing a little bit of lightening of the riser for sure.
Absolutely, and then the parallel limbs are really parallel.
Yeah, they definitely went to a longer riser this year. What that's going to do is it's going to decrease the hand shock, decrease vibration in the bow as well. Of course, we've seen the dampeners mounted on the front of the limb pocket down here, which is, again, this is a high vibration area for the bow. So obviously by integrating it right into there, it's something that's going to reduce a significant amount of vibration as well.
Let's talk a little bit about you said they have a rest that can integrate into these bows?
Yep, so last year we saw QAD team up with Mathews and came out with a new rest called the HDX Integrate. What that was is it's an actual rest that dovetail mounts into the back of the riser instead of using the conventional arrow rest hole. What this does is it allows a much more secure attachment point to the back of the bow, which allows a more precision, more durable, a little less worrisome connection with your arrow rest itself.
I was thinking about the weights now. You know, we're talking about the weights, and the thing about these weights that I'm noticing is that they're all kind of falling into that range 4 to 4.4 now. I'm starting to see that more and more and more. I mean, you've always had like a 4.1, 3.8 range from what I remember. But we're starting to see it go the other direction. We're getting 4.4 and 4.66.
Yep.
But at the same time, like you said, there's a lot more in this bow in length. But also by adding the things like this SCS system, right? You're adding a little bit of weight here and there to try to add these new cool features. So it's got to be done. But to be honest, it still feels really good. And I've said in other videos, I'll say it again. If you want a lighter bow, always consider getting the heavier bow and then lightening up your accessories. So it's always an option. If you're like, man, I really don't want that much weight, I want, you know, that's an option. You get carbon accessories, real light stuff. It's definitely out there.
And I mean, as riser technology changes, we're seeing more of the bow companies go to a much longer riser and a shorter limb, which again is going to reduce that vibration. And with just how parallel these limbs are, that's really where the necessity for the longer riser comes from. So you get a longer riser, it's all metal, so it's going to be heavier in and of itself. So by giving you that, to only be at 4.4 and 4.6 pounds on these, really isn't that heavy. I think by the time we put all our accessories on it, we're probably running around 7 pounds anyway on most of our hunting bows. But that's 4.4 and 4.6 is not a ridiculously heavy bow.
So looks like they give you the monkey tails.
Yep.
Those are on there. It's definitely a staple with Mathews. They've had those a long time now. What about the roller? Is that the same roller we've seen last year?
Yeah, but still a reverse assist roller guard. It's something that we're seeing. It's an actual patent that Mathews has, and we've seen it on their bows for a number of years. Basically what it does is it takes the full draw cycle and actually moves the cables back to where they're under the least amount of pressure at full draw versus the least amount of pressure at static.
colors. So right now we're showing this bow featured in the Realtree Edge. I believe both these are featured in Realtree Edge. But go ahead, why don't you go ahead and go through the different options?
For sure. So we've got both the Sitka patterns in Optifade Elevate 2 and Subalpine. We got Ridge Reaper Forest from Under Armour, Ridge Reaper Baron, Realtree Edge, which is what both of these are in here. Stone and Black, but the new bow, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be their #1 seller this year, is the new Green Ambush.
Nice.
So I've been seeing this all over social media lately, and everybody's response to that new color has been very excited. So the Green Ambush is definitely one to check out.
Yeah, and you know, if you're on Mathews' website, it's definitely something to check out for buying a bow. And the main reason is you can like mix and match everything. You can customize your bow fully, and then I believe you order it through a dealer probably and get it, but you can literally change the color of anything and everything, and it's so cool. It's so much fun. You actually go through and select everything. It's literally like one of the coolest websites I've seen for bows, honestly. So I thought the draw cycle was great on the bow. You know, drawing it back, it was very smooth, very forgiving. Felt great. It felt like what I would expect from a Mathews bow, a high performance premium bow. Absolutely amazing bow. Hey, speaking of that, go to MathewsInc.com to check these bows out yourself. And the biggest thing, guys, is get to a dealer and shoot them yourself. I know you guys watch this show and love watching it. We love that you watch the show and want to see these bows up front, up close. But get to your local dealer, shoot these Mathews bows. You're not going to be disappointed with these for sure, because they are really, really something. Chris, any last words?
Nope, I'm good. Get
All
out
right.
there and shoot them.
Stick around, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time on BowHunterPlanet.com.